Happiness with me, Pigtail Girl, your friend and fellow traveler, and also fellow wizard. Look at the way my hands are going into the blurred background. It's kind of weird looking, but I'm sitting in my little bedroom and I thought I'd blur out the background. Sorry if I sort of blur in and out of reality. It's very stormy here right now, and I'm about to hit the road again. My life is sort of on the move, and things are very turbulent in general at this time. We've been having a lot of timeline activity recently. This is a little timeline edit update, your timeline weather update. So we have been going through some very strange and intense timeline edits, time shift events. The Schumann resonance chart has been doing lots of interesting things. If you're in the Telegram group, you will see the appearance of the angel wing packets that keep appearing on the Schumann resonance, and then the sort of storing of energy that's been going on. So I just wanted to let everyone know what's going on, because I know things are sort of uncertain and people can become full of fear and concern and worry. So I just wanted to really touch base with you guys and tell you not to worry. I'm actually in a phase myself of sort of recuperating, healing. I feel like I've been told this, me and, Starfire and all the warriors of light, we've been fighting a hard battle now for about 6 years. We've been really going for it. And I know a lot of people are sort of battle weary, and I've just been told just to relax, chill out, regroup, have a little holiday, heal, do some healing on myself, because my nervous system was just fried. Get some shock and fear out of my system. That's what I've been doing. And same for my family, getting my family some healing as well. Just really taking care of myself and my family. And really being told to, look, Pigtail Girl, it looks kind of crazy out there, but it's time to just relax. Of course, they're trying to stir up emotion at the moment, because they're going for it. Let's be honest, the minions are going for it, but they're full steam ahead, but without the steam now, because they haven't got that DMA energy to power themselves. They're going full steam ahead, but the steam is not there for them to power their their way. So even though they keep projecting their so-called futures that they want to manifest for you to get worried about and see and obviously freak out about, actually, I'm just going to check to make sure my microphone is the snowball. Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to check my microphone. Yeah, they want to put the fear of God in you, keep projecting their wannabe futures. But my cards and the timeline edits and what's been going on that I'm going to cover today are all telling me to just keep your chin up and just look, because we're on the brink of a massive, what I've been shown is a dismantling of the WEF. That's what I've been told, a dismantling of it. Hasn't quite surfaced yet, and I'm not saying that I've even really seen the full-on signs of it yet, and I don't know how it's going to happen, but that's what I've been told, a dismantling of certain aspects of the minion empire about to take place, and things are being got ready for it to happen. So hold on to your hats, guys, hold on to your hope. I do feel something good is coming. It's just looking very shaky right now. That's why the angels have been telling me just to chill out, just to take a little holiday from it all, focus on some nice things, travel, having fun, see your friends, do some healing, recuperate my energy after the 6 years of just non-stop fight or flight warrior mode I've been in. It's like being in a war zone, and sometimes you have to break from the fight and just recuperate, and that's sort of the mode I've been in at this time. So I recommend yourself to, to do this. Take a little time, regenerate your nervous system, cut yourself off some of the doom and gloom, because there's going to be a lot of it still to go through and a lot of chaos. It's really building up now. I don't know exactly, I can't see exactly how it happens, the downfall, but there is going to be a dismantling, and it's beginning. We're in it's like a transformative energy, like the death card. At the moment, we're very much in the throes of a death card, and it's because there are energies amassing around the planet. So the ancestor, star ancestors, and the angelics are gathering and amassing here, and the core matrix is going overtime, doing loads of rebooting and editing of our timeline, trying to get us onto a better path. And meanwhile, at the same time, there's plenty of people on the earth who are becoming aware of what's going on and doing their part. Let's just say there are many warriors of light playing their part at this time. Now, never expect warriors of light to be perfect, right? I see a lot of people, they expect heroes to turn up and be perfect. You know, we are all imperfect heroes. I don't know about you, but I'm certainly not perfect. You know, there's certain things, you know, in my life, I certainly haven't lived a holier than thou angelic life, she says, as an ex-raver from the 90s. And someone used to work on a pole in a bikini, getting £15 notes shoved in my bikini. I've certainly lived an interesting life, shall we say. Certainly not a perfect life, you know. I try to be as impeccable and perfect as I can now, but never expect heroes to appear that are perfect. That's one thing I wanted to say. There is no such thing as the perfect here. It doesn't exist. And two, I just wanted to point out that there are unseen forces gathering to deal with the other unseen forces. You know, there are forces here at play that humans aren't aware of and don't see. So I just want people to know that there are actually friends that we have that are helping us with those unseen forces, the ones that you and I, you know, we don't really get to see face to face, and we're not really sort of taking them on you know, on our day-to-day level. Even if we were to have the right to vote in and out things, you know, in our governments, it wouldn't remove, you know, negative reptilians from behind the scenes. Most people wouldn't even know those things are there. And you know, another reason I think a lot of things are happening right now on the planet is because, you know, the warriors of light, we did come together and we did restore that force field. So we've done a lot of work on the earth plane. Whether people know about it or not is irrelevant to me. I don't really care if people understand the work that me and my group have been doing, but you know, it's done. We have done it, and there are ancestors and angels now amassing. And you know, I have been working with these groups really my whole life. I was in training, and now I'm sort of working with these groups, and these groups are real, and they really are here now. That, you know, you're not going to really usually hear about them through, you know, channelers, or, you know, especially new age channelers. A lot of the stuff you hear really is kind of bogus, in all honesty. You know, a lot of people who channel angels and aliens, that's not really what they're doing at all. But they are here. They just don't usually give you messages through people, you know, like I work with them, but they're not going to try to channel through me to give you a message. You know, I'm just going to be made aware of what they're doing and sort of be given little bits of information as I go. Like just one of the bits of information they've been giving me right now is just to recuperate and regenerate. That's really what they've been telling me before the next phase. I'm about to be reactivated again, so I will know what part I have to play. And, you know, what you can do is always just, when you feel an urge to take part in something or do something, then do it. That's your role. You know, know your role, because your role would be what you're capable of doing and what you can do in the moment. And then you have to follow through and do what you can achieve, whatever that is, however great, however small. You know, even if it's just sharing information, turning up at a conference, helping a neighbor, doing that nice thing for someone, you know, spreading a bit of information out there, or whether it's actually boots on the ground, you know, going down, you know, picketing something and writing letters, you know, to people in power and trying to, you know, get things to change. You know, you'll know what you're supposed to do, but I'm just being told right now that I'm being made to rest in preparation for my next activation, which is coming soon. So we're very much in the throes of a sort of, oh, it's like, you know, like in the movie when it's like the big showdown is about to come, and you see like all the ships from one side appearing from space, like, and then the other ones sort of all appearing, and they're all just getting ready. It's sort of like that feeling that we're in right now. So just to let you know what's going on galactically, that's what we've got going on around the planet right now. And at the same time, you might notice yourself a lot of deja vus, missing time, disappearing, reappearing objects in your house, having one or two of something suddenly, then it being in this place, or disappearing, being over there, not knowing what day it is, you know, all these kind of things, because we're just having this condensed amount of timeline edits and shifts going on at this time. And so it is quite an intense time to be alive. And another thing I just wanted to mention is the 8-8 Lionsgate mythology that we're about to go into. You're going to see it's going to sweep through YouTube lands. But I just wanted to mention that, just so you know, this is not really actually based in anything factual. There isn't such a thing as an 8-8 Lionsgate. The astrology that people try to use to justify it actually isn't true astrology. And if you go and look up on a sidereal map, you'll find out that none of the alignments they claim happen actually happen. So I just wanted to point that out as well, that the 8-8 Lionsgate thing, even though the number 8-8 is nice, one, we're not even in Leo at that time. The sun is still in Cancer. So it wouldn't be a Lionsgate, it would be a crab gate. And the things they say about Sirius, it's all bogus. And the Lionsgate mythology only started in 1998 when there was an eclipse, I believe, in Leo. And it's a total new age thing that people just milk and milk and milk over and again. And of course, it sounds nice, 8-8 Lionsgate, portals opening, but none of it's true. But of course, if you believe it hard enough, who knows, you'll get some sort of effect from it, you'll get the placebo. But I don't know, I get annoyed because I like real astrology. I get annoyed when it's fake astrology. And if you actually look to what they say astrologically happens on 808 Lionsgate, it's not actually true at all. There's actually no truth to it. And actually, if you look up Lionsgate isn't true, Lionsgate false astrology, if you actually go and Google that, you'll find out why, and you'll go and see the real astrology. And people who actually take the time out on those days to see, is Sirius lining up with anything? And, what's going on? Is our sun even in Leo at that time? Sidereal would say no. It's just so you know that a lot of that thing about 8-8 Lionsgate, it's all made up. Like most of the things humans believe in the Dark Ages, because I feel like that's literally what we've been in all this time. What it's all coming to a crunch now is just we're trying to get out of this dark age of misinformation. And most of the things we've had within this age of Pisces has been misinfo, disinfo, and dogma, and all of, like, going back to the Abrahamic text, as far as I'm concerned, it's all generated by the Dark Ages. And that's why there's very little truth in it. Like, even if you go and look at people who truly translate the actual ancient text, the Abrahamic text, like Mauro Biglino, and again, he puts it there. You can go and check the translations. If you speak the ancient Hebrew and stuff like that, he goes into great depth to show that those ancient books weren't talking about God. They were talking about a group of star people called the Elohim. Those star people were the fallen reptilians. They weren't the good guys, and they were fighting amongst themselves and against the good guys. So that's why you had all those different gods and lords, and they had their chosen people, because what they were trying to do, the fallen ones, was lord over us, make us believe that they'd created us when they hadn't. As far as I can see, they lied. All of their giving us writings, we could write down their fake history. It was all a plan. And this is what the Dark Ages is. The Dark Ages is non-stop written word given to us by that dark group, that fallen reptilian group, that we now take as gospel, as the word of God, as some religious idea. And we've made many, many religions around them. But this is all what I call the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages, when that negative group took over our information and then fed us false information and wanted to lord over us and enslave us in different groups. So that's why you get this idea of chosen groups of people that serve this God, that God, promise this bit of land, that bit of land. All this stuff, it all goes back to them. And that's what's coming to a head right now. It's all still to do with that ancient battle of those beings, those Elohim, the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki were not the good guys. All of their stories are false. The false written word, the word pen is mightier than the sword. Just because it was written down a long time ago doesn't even mean it was true. It means there was something to tell you in that text. Sure, if you can read between the lines, but it doesn't mean what they told you was true. And the mistranslation of things too makes things untrue. So really, when you look at the true translations, even of the ancient text, you find out mainly it's about battling aliens called the Elohim. It's not about God per se, or the divinity. And that's where we're getting our dogmas from. So all of this, why I'm bringing it up, is it's all very pertinent right now, because many people hold on to dogma And the worse things get, the more they cling to their dogma that comes from books written in dark ages, you know, by deceitful entities who wanted to lord it over us. That's the way I see it. That's why I don't attach myself to dogma or any of those stories. I just connect direct to source. But dogma will tell me that that's wrong, that that's not a thing. You can't do that. You always need a middleman, someone, because that's how you're enslaved. You have to have this other thing you rely on, this thing that's not you, because you'll have to be squished down. And that's the lie. The lie is we were never created to be slaves. We weren't created to collect the gold. I don't believe that at all. That was a lie given to us by them, to give them the right then to lord over us. We were created as free humans to be caretakers of this earth. That's what is, you know, the truth of humanity as I see it. And the rest was a story told to us, and it's been told to us many times by the Truther movement. Over and over again, they regurgitate the story that we were created for this gold. But just because there's evidence that gold was mined on this planet, show me the evidence that we were created as the slaves to mine it. It doesn't even make sense that you would need that. If someone had super great technology and were advanced gods, why would you need us to do any mining for you? It doesn't even make sense you would need that. No, they wanted to enslave us so they could use us because they like having games, battles, death, war. They're the infected reptilians, you know, of this DMA energy. Their ideas, their duty to the DMA is to keep us fighting to create that negative energy here and to bring in more DMA energy. That's why they come in, split you all up, pit you against each other, and war. And that's what we hear about in the Abrahamic text. That's why people are like, oh, those different gods were all psychos, you know. And some people are just anti-God, anti-religion, thanks to those books. And where you'll have other people that they'll try to just see the good in the mistranslations and try to just latch on to the example of Jesus, you know, who comes across as a nice example, obviously, to follow. Someone trying to be honest and who can do miracles, but, you know, obviously you can't do those. Only you need Jesus to help you through him to do them, right? That's the only little dogma in there. So obviously you can tell I'm not really attached to any of that dogma. I see all of that info as the dark ages, and obviously not trying to insult anyone for their beliefs. They can believe what they like, but that's the way I see it. And I see it as important right now because we're going through the end of that cycle. It's trying to be brought to an end now because it's getting to that point where they have gone so far that it's now win or lose kind of moment. Who's inheriting the earth kind of moment. And let me tell you, it's not going to be them. It's definitely not going to be them. It's going to be us. And we have help, and it's gathering. That's why it's gathering, because that battle back then, the beginning of the dark ages, all those liars and deceivers who came in to try to make us believe they were the good guys, they were our creators, whatever, they're still here and still need to be taken care of. That battle never ended. We've been living in it for thousands of years. That's why this planet has never quite felt right. And they pit us against each other. That's what they love to do. They love to take us and make us focus on each other and pit us against each other. That's been their game from the start, when we were all one family, you know, and we are one family. That's the whole point. We're supposed to be different tribes, but one family. You know, that's what the earth people are here. And we were not made to be slaves. None of us were here to be slaves. We are all made in the image of our mothers and fathers. That's what I do believe. We're not here to be slaves. We weren't built to be slaves. That's all a lie. And so that's why now it's very important to understand that we do have this help there for us amassing, because it's time to reclaim the earth. We're here to reclaim the earth. The humans are ready to reclaim it. Warriors of light have gathered. We're reclaiming it. And now we've got help helping us to reclaim it. So that's what we're going to be seeing now. This is the reclamation of earth. And that's what we're going into, my darlings. So I will wish you all well. I hope you will take this time to do some healing, to recuperate, smile a little, laugh a little, be kind to your neighbors, take some kindness time for yourself. And I will see you on the next episode of The Pursuit of Happiness. One love.